Hello, I'd like to tell you a story about Matt. Matt was a school teacher that had a bad onboarding experience. Matt, just like most school teachers, are isolated to their classrooms, limited to other employee interactions. At one specific time, there was a candy trot that Matt was not aware of. The following night, he prepared his classes. Next day, he shows up. He was then notified of this candy trot where he was not properly dressed. He was supposed to be dressed in workout attire. So for 3 to 4 hours, he was walking about 4 miles roughly during this activity. Let's just say Matt didn't have a great experience. On top of this, later on, Matt left the school because there's no hardly any information exchanged between the fellow employees. Matt would often go to these other school teachers or fellow employees and ask them about things. Well, why didn't anybody tell me? And they would just commonly reply, no, you should have asked. Matt wasn't aware that he should be asking these questions. He didn't even know what to ask. So eventually, Matt left the school. So, what does this story have to do with what we're speaking about today? Currently, our situation with our business plan is kind of the same setup that was going on with Matt. This organic, independent department setup is kind of much like the school teacher setup that we were talking about in the classroom. Each department doing their own thing, having hardly any interaction with each other. One of the, which explains why we're bringing this up today about the horrible onboarding process experience. A recent Gallup poll shows that only 12% of employees feel that they're satisfied with their onboarding experience. And that leads to roughly 1 out of 4 employees quitting within the first 90 days of their employment. So, what does that tell you? It tells you that this adds up financially quick. So, what leads to these? There's 4 common things that causes employees to leave within the first 90 days, or leading to a potential horrible onboarding experience. First one, there's no clear objective. How do you achieve a target when you don't know where you're going? Second is being rushed. We've all been there in a working situation where you get inadequate training and you're pushed. It causes unnecessary stress, and then we will feel like we have to leave. It's an unrelated environment. Third is, of course, inadequate training that's associated being pressure trained. And the fourth is no one following up on your training. Basically, just getting pushed out there and just becoming a number. So, what does this have to do with us? The solution is implementing a human resources plan that is a human resources system that has a workflow that follows the whole process from onboarding to the very end. We're completely trained and we follow up yearly. So how does this work? We simply implement a process when they go kind of like what Twitter does. Twitter has a yes to desk program where as soon as they're implemented, HR, all of us starts following the functions, get all the paperwork through, all the way till the end, and then that's it. According to the memo on the memos, there's some information on that. But other than that, that's pretty much it. So, in key, this is why this presentation or this program needs to be implemented.